Wardlow had the biggest match of his career tonight in AEW against the best in the world, CM Punk. And man, I think he delivered tonight on all cylinders. Did WWE like the way he performed tonight? Considering they have major interest in signing the man, we will inevitably find out in due time. The finish of the match between CM Punk and Wardlow was very similar to the match that Diesel and the Hitman Bret Hart had at the 1995 edition of Survivor Series, and people are complaining about that roll-up finish. Brody King finally makes his debut, and the House of Black continues. And Nate, I have to say, Julia Hart, she might also have something to say in due time as well. The Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer is back on AEW TV. And, well, who does he go after? None other than the AEW World Champion himself, Hangman Adam Page. And, we got a lot to talk about tonight right here on the podcast. This is Outside the Brand. What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us right here on the podcast. This is Outside the Brand. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for another AEW Dynamite post-show review right here on Outside the Brand. It's Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. I am your host, Bill, and this is Outside the Brand. I got myself a different co-host with me today. Usually he does join us on AEW Wednesday nights. Loff is unable to join us at this time due to some personal reasons that I will not disclose here, considering it's personal, and it's I think it's just better for him to tell you rather than myself. But we are here. We're still going to be doing AEW Dynamite tonight. Nate, glad you're here. It's going to be a good time tonight. Tonight, man, it was really all about storytelling when it came to AEW Dynamite tonight. There was not many matches here on the card, but when we actually had the storylines that were actually being progressed here onto the show, we got some pretty good and pretty big storylines to talk about here on the podcast tonight. We had Wardlow taking on CM Punk, and this was Wardlow's biggest match of his AEW career, bar none. It's CM Punk. It's the best in the world. Veteran in this business. Obviously, this would be a pretty big match for the young superstar in Wardlow. The continuing storyline between Punk and MJF it's obviously continued, and it's continued into this kind of little mini storyline with Wardlow and MJF. And MJF and Wardlow, Wardlow is going to be a big piece of the story. He really is. And the thing is, he's going to be a major part in the storyline between those two superstars. We all know that the one person that should be the one to beat CM Punk in the end should be MJF. I don't think there's really any other kind of person to go up against CM Punk and give him his first loss other than MJF. I was talking with Loff actually during the show tonight, and he actually gave me the name of Bryan Danielson to be the one to beat CM Punk first and foremost. And I'm like, I wouldn't mind that either. But when it comes to this kind of storyline, when it comes to actually putting somebody younger over, it's definitely MJF that I think should be the one to do it. What are your thoughts on all of that? Between MJF, CM Punk, Wardlow, how did you think all of that went down tonight when it came to that match and how everything went down?
To be honest, I already knew that CM Punk was going to win regardless, right? Anyway. But as far as the storyline goes between CM Punk and MJF, I agree with you, Phil. I do believe that MJF should be the one to beat CM Punk. I was going to say Bryan Danielson too, because that was the second one that I had in mind. But like you said, Phil, it's all about putting over the newer, fresher talent, and I believe that's what CM Punk is trying to do. So it's only right that MJF is the one that beats CM Punk. As far as Wardlow in here, I just can't wait until this dude just smacked the mess out of MJF.
I was screaming at my TV when he was like putting his finger on the
I was waiting there. I'm like,
just attack him already.
I'm like, come on, do something, please.
Like, just do something. Yeah. I keep seeing people on Twitter. They're like, I'm legitimately yelling at my TV for Wardlow to do something. And I'm like, patience, my young Padawan. Patience. It's going to happen. We just got to wait and see. And I know the whole wait and see kind of approach is really gone down. Thank you, WWE, for that. But when it comes to AEW, the wait and see kind of approach normally really works in our favor. So I think it will happen. It's just going to take some due time. The way MJF was acting tonight during the match, though, because MJF was obviously in the corner of Wardlow during this match, it really didn't seem like he wanted a clear finish, if you get what I mean. When he was ultimately just trying to get up on the apron to stop Wardlow from pinning Punk in any kind of sense of the word, because he just wanted him to do more damage. And he said, no, you're going to drag him to the outside and you're going to powerbomb him through this table because that's your job. Like, that to me right there just shows that he ultimately wants to be the one to beat CM Punk when the time is right. Now, like, it just planted in his own head that he wants to be the one to do it. So, and the thing is, Wardlow, he was fed up about it. He's like, just let me beat the man. I legitimately powerbombed the man so many times that Tony Schiavone legitimately lost count of how many times he actually powerbombed him. And he's just like, let me pin him. Let me get the biggest win of my career. And MJF's like, yeah, nah, son, you're going to be doing this instead. And MJF wants to be the one to beat CM Punk, and the way that he was acting tonight, I mean, you saw it clear as day.
Yeah, when I'm sitting there watching the match, and I'm like, okay, this dude Wardlow is just power bombing the mess out of CM Punk, and CM Punk is like not moving at all.
I have to admit, CM Punk and the selling of everything that he did tonight, he sold the shit out of those power bombs for Wardlow tonight. He made Wardlow look like a star.
Man, I'm like, pin this man, and then he pinned him. MJF, nah, bro, nah, this ain't how we going. This ain't how we going down. All right, power bomb him through this table, boom. Right. And then CM Punk
powerbomb him on the apron like Kevin Owens, even though we should have signed him, but we never did. Like, he wanted to do some damage via Wardlow so that he could put in his head that he could be the one to beat CM Punk when the time is right. Yeah. Bluff, my man, you're here in spirit in the chat, and we will be talking about that Wardlow and WWE storyline because I do got some stuff on that. We will talk about that. But yeah, so actually, you know, we might as well just talk about it right now. WrestleVotes on Twitter. We all know that we love WrestleVotes on Twitter. And honestly, they're honestly really accurate when it comes to this kind of shit. They voted on. They did a tweet on. They tweeted out today, and I quote: With his biggest match to date happening later tonight, and I can confirm without hesitation that WWE will be extremely interested in luring Wardlow away from AEW when his contract is due. There are several people within the World Wrestling Entertainment that love his potential. End quote. It's not going to be shocking by any means if WWE was somehow going to get Wardlow into the WWE kind of circle. Mainly because they also want MJF. Fox loves MJF, WWE loves MJF, and the thing is they want to sign him as well. To be completely honest, I wouldn't mind if Wardlow jumped ship. I think he would honestly do pretty well over there. I really would. Like, when you saw those reports happening about Wardlow and WWE and the possibility of that even being a thing, what were your thoughts?
When I saw it, I wasn't really surprised. Like I said, Wardlow would be a great asset to WWE. It's so, like you said, there's so many possibilities. He can go to NXT, face Braun Breaker. He can go straight to the main roster with Bobby, Brock, Roman, Drew. So it's a whole lot of possibilities there if he do go to WWE. It's just that, will they use him in the right way? So,
right.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But as far as him getting signed to WWE and them having interest in him, it don't surprise me at all. So,
like, I just feel like in so many ways in AEW, you can get lost in the shuffle. There's so much like talented guys over there. We just added a guy in Brody King. We are going to be adding more superstars in the future. I feel like Wardlow, if not already, he can get lost in the shuffle. So with him going to WWE, with him being a part of that kind of a circle, you can use him in many different ways. He is that big enough a guy to where he has the charisma enough. I mean, you saw him tonight on the show, and you've seen him over the past couple of weeks. The power bomb, I forget what he calls it. Does he call it the Symphony of Power Bombs? I don't know what he calls it.
Yeah,
but
the Symphony of Power Bombs, Symphony Orchestra,
something
Power
of that nature.
Like that.
Yeah. That was completely all on him, and believe it or not, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was actually one of the guys that actually went to Wardlow and said, hey, why don't you try this? And obviously it's worked to the point where he is super over with the crowd right now, and people want him to break out. I think it would be a great opportunity for Wardlow to not only just jump ship to WWE, but just to get that kind of an experience. And it doesn't even have to be that long of a deal. All you have to do is just go over there, see what's in store for you over there. Obviously, you don't have to sign like a long-term deal. You can just sign like maybe a 2-3 year deal, get that kind of an experience, and then come back to Tony Khan in AEW. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are probably going to say, just stay with Tony Khan in AEW because you're automatically already going to get pushed to the moon. You have the fans behind you over here already, so why even change anything? But I think it could be a really good opportunity for Wardlow just to at least even explore. But then again, we don't even know when his contract is out, so who knows? It's just something to think about for Wardlow for sure. In other news, Brody King, Ring of Honor talent, Brody King, made his debut tonight under the House of Black. Let's fucking go. That's so good, man. I'm so happy for Brody King, and I'm so happy that he found a home in AEW under the House of Black. And man, those two big tattooed men just made that AEW tag team division that much better. Sure, we lost the Lucha Brothers, but man, we got a big tag team in the House of Black now, and Brody King and Malachi Black. I fucking love that Malachi and Brody King are here right now. I love it. Well, Brody King coming out of the darkness, it was great.
Yeah, I'm marked out. I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right. I said Malachi finally met his matches. I'm like, the Varsity Blondes is out there. He's surrounded by Penta and the Varsity Blondes. I'm like, something about to happen though. I feel it. And then I saw the lights go out. I'm like, okay, who's gonna pop up now? And then Brody King popped up. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. So, man, I'm happy that they put him in the House of Black now. I'm looking forward to what they do in the future as a group, as a tag team. Still trying to figure out who else could possibly be like a great another great addition to the House of Black. So
I got a third one right off the top of my dome already.
Now let me hear it.
Buddy Matthews.
Buddy Matt. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Buddy Matthews.
That'll be dope.
Or if you want to, the man already has no eyes. Pac.
Bird Box.
You take off that blindfold and you have like the two like black eyes or whatever. It could work. It could work. Or if you really want to just get fucking rogue over here, Julia Hart was not really doing that much tonight. She called off the Varsity Blondes and Pentagon Jr. Like, I mean, come on. If you really want to go there.
And she's still rocking the eye patch. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and then she'll fucking tear it off and it'll be black under there.
That'll be dope.
Imagine.
Yeah, that'll be dope. I can see that.
Like, imagine if she just turns on the Varsity Blondes and becomes like the I want to say mistress, but that could be a term that could be very misused in ways. But that's the only word I can even really come to mind right now, like the mistress to the House of Black or something of that nature. Like, I really wouldn't know how things would go with her, a part of it, because I mean, she was a cheerleader before all of this, and I believe she still technically is. It's just she's got an eye patch, so she's a pirate cheerleader right now. But I think right now you have that kind of an opportunity for Julia Hart to just branch out and to just show us what she can do. There's something there with Julia Hart that I can totally see. But if you're talking about another like a male competitor to get us into the trios division, Buddy Matthews or Pac would be perfect people to try to do it with. For me, at least.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, guys, we got a lot to talk about here tonight on OTB for the AEW Dynamite post show for January 12th, 2022. If you missed anything on the channel over the past couple of days, because this is our debut week back here on the podcast after a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back and we're full strength and we're all good to go. If you guys missed anything on the channel, you guys missed our Monday Night Raw review, or if you guys missed last night's talk with Anthony Murray on the brand split and the future of it, those are right down there at the homepage of the channel, so you guys can go check that out whenever you may want to. Also, continue to hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to 500 subscribers. We can also turn on that bell to all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. And also, you can hit that thumbs up. Tonight, if we can get the stream to 12 likes, that would be greatly appreciated. And I know everybody here on OTP would absolutely love to see that. Let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into talking about AEW Dynamite tonight. And man, we started off pretty damn hot. We started off pretty damn hot tonight on AEW Dynamite. And of course, the first thing I see, the AEW Rampage spoilers. No, fuck off. We got way too much going on right now in AEW to even talk about spoilers for AEW Rampage. We need to talk about Dynamite. Why can't I get it up? Come on now. Really? Thank you. Boom. Done. We have to start off the show. It's all about the boom. Adam Cole Bebe starts off the show. And with reDragon, of course. With reDragon. Technically the UE, but as of what we are pretty much getting word of, they're not going to be called the UE, Undisputed Era, or the Undisputed Elite. They're going to be called Paragon.
Paragon.
It's going to get some getting used to. But honestly, considering that Kyle O'Reilly technically already spoke it into existence, and he already used that term in promos in the past for AEW, I think I'm going to grow to like it. Like, and to be completely honest, like, not a lot of people were fond of Undisputed Era at the time either until we really got to get used to it. And Undisputed Era, obviously, as we all know, became like a goddamn household name. So, honestly, I think the Paragon, I don't think it's going to be that bad once we all get used to it and once we actually get them to call themselves that on AEW TV. They're not calling themselves that yet, but they will soon enough once the trademark actually does get back to AEW, and they'll obviously put it on them when the time is right. Yes or no to the Paragon to you?
Nah.
Nah. Not really.
Like when I first heard Paragon, I was like, "Is that a shape? I'm like, what is that?" Yeah, like you said, Phil. Though it's gonna get some like getting used to, but like as for right now, nah, I'm not digging it. So.
Okay, let me actually. I want to look this up too because. Okay, so Paragon meaning is a person or thing regarded as a perfect example of a particular quality. And Kyle O'Reilly did use that term when he was talking to Adam. When he actually had his AEW debut. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, we can totally see that be using it as the case for their group name, and then once all that happens, we'll just have to get used to it. And you know what? I think in due time we will. So let's not totally write it off just yet. So they're here, and they say 2021 was a great year, and 2022 will be even better. He hasn't been Adam Cole has not been pinned in AEW. He hasn't been submitted, and he has an undefeated singles record here in the company. The boys are bad together. They are the baddest team on God's green. And there's a new era in AEW. See, he's teasing it. He's teasing it. He's teasing it because we know that they can't use it. So they're going to try to use any type of sense just so that we know that they're thinking about it. The Young Bucks then all of a sudden come out and make their entrance. Matt says, listen, I may have kicked COVID's ass in 2 days, but I'm just wondering why the heck we weren't invited to this party that you guys got going on over here. Kyle O'Reilly says that they didn't need the Young Bucks to help them beat the Super Friends last week. The Bucks say this is their company, and they were the longest reigning tag champions. It is their New Year's resolution to get back those championships. Bobby Fish says, oh, hey, look at that. It's kind of funny because that's our New Year's resolution too. Nobody will stand in their way, including the Young Bucks. Cole says that they need some friendly competition. That is what makes them the very best. Look at the other factions. The Best Friends are an absolute joke. The Best Friends make their entrance, and Orange Cassidy is leading the charge. Cole says that what could Cassidy possibly have to say? Cassidy says nothing and takes him down with a double leg takedown. A huge brawl breaks out between the three teams, and Cassidy clears the ring, but Cole hits him with a low blow. Chris Statlander puts herself in the way to save Orange Cassidy, and Britt Baker all of a sudden runs down to the ring and takes out Chris Statlander. Baker then holds Cassidy while Cole hits him with the boom, or what the fuck did he call it the last time?
Last shot.
The last shot. That's it. Thank you.
I still call it that. So.
So he hits him with the last shot, so to speak, and there you go. Cole, Fish OReilly, and the Young Bucks, and Britt Baker celebrate in the ring. The Bucks go to kiss Adam Cole on the cheeks, but Baker stops them, and they legitimately have some kind of makeout session in the ring. And you know what? You know what? A lot of people message me as soon as it happened.
Phil was sizzling, man.
You know, it hurt me, but I'll be okay.
Oh man, I even made it
about it anyway. So they told me in advance. They had to tell me because they knew they loved me. But, man, it did hurt. It really did. It hurt. It hurt seeing that. Hey, in all seriousness, though, all jokes aside, I want to see Britt Baker and Adam Cole on TV more often together. I really do. Like, I think you can't hide it anymore. Everybody knows, and everybody absolutely loves the pairing of the two. So put them together.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. As soon as we saw that today, I was like, I actually want to see them more in like maybe some mixed match tag team matches and stuff. I said, and this is the beginning now with Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. I said maybe we could get one with Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti now, since
Yeah, and everybody knows that too ad nauseum because of everything that happened. But
yeah, so
heck,
still upset about that, but it's all good.
That was a terrible way to go around it. But hey, at the end of the day, Britt Baker, Adam Cole, they're great on TV. We should totally be able to get that down the line for them to even just be together on TV. So, and Josh, I feel you, my man. Roderick Strong feels so left out right now. I could probably tell you that is 100% the case. Like I feel so bad for Roderick Strong right now. I really do. He just lost that Cruiserweight Championship, which meant nothing to the grand scheme of NXT, but he just lost that Cruiserweight Championship. He honestly lost one of his tag partners in the Diamond Mine to just WWE just doing their match releases again. And the Creed brothers and Niall are the only people in the Diamond Mine now. I feel so bad for Roderick Strong, and I hope that, I mean, I would never hope for anybody to lose their job, but heck, if WWE just went rogue again and they just went out and just took Roderick Strong away from NXT because he is technically still a part of that old style of NXT, I would not be shocked whatsoever if Tony Khan wanted to call him up and get him over there with the Paragon. I really wouldn't be that shocked.
I'm about to say it kind of makes sense too because his wife is a part of AEW now too. So
Marina Shafir, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, so obviously they know, like Roderick and Tony, they obviously had to have had some kind of toss with each other, if not already, because of Marina being there. I mean, so when Big Swole was over there, you don't think that Cedric Alexander at least talked to Tony?
Right.
People know that like when you have intertwining kind of relationships between companies and their actual talent, people talk. Just because you're contracted with WWE doesn't mean you can't legitimately just have a normal conversation with somebody else from a different company.
Right.
You can't really track that, and if they do, that's just their own pettiness trying to figure out what the heck they're trying to do and just trying to figure out their own future. But at the end of the day, Roderick Strong, I do feel bad for him, but until then, he really can't. He just has to go through the motions in case if anything does happen. So, MJF makes his entrance and he introduces Wardlow, and then Cult of Personality hits, and we have CM Punk come out to make his entrance as well. It's Wardlow taking on CM Punk in Wardlow's biggest match of his career. And I keep saying that because it's true. When you're going up against CM Punk, it's a big deal. And even if you're going to be in that losing effort to CM Punk, which at this point in time, it is most likely going to be the case, but you're still in a big profile match. And it was treated as such tonight, especially with the way the finish ended. So, the match was great. Back and forth action. We were on the outside at this point, and MJF sets up the timekeeper table ready for Wardlow to power bomb Punk through it. He tells Wardlow to power bomb Punk through that table because it is his job to do so. Wardlow then does it. He power bombs Punk through that table, and MJF celebrates on the ring apron. The ref counts CM Punk. We are at the count of 9, but CM Punk does get into the ring. MJF tells Wardlow to powerbomb him once again, but Punk, in dead weight, does a quick inside cradle for the 1, 2, 3.
For roll-up season, baby.
Now, a lot of people on Twitter were pissed off. They were pissed off because Wardlow should have been the one to beat CM Punk in everybody else's mind. I was okay with this because, yeah, sure, Wardlow's going to be a part of the story, but he's not the whole story here, people. He's not the whole story. The story is between Punk and MJF. And anywhere that MJF is going to turn, he's going to run the other way because he is not ready to face CM Punk just yet. And he even said that in the aftermatch promo, where now CM Punk is going to be taking on Shawn Spears next week. Shawn Spears is not going to be the whole story heading into next week. Is it going to be a good match? Yes, because Shawn Spears is an amazing talent. And so is CM Punk. That's not the real story here. The story is between MJF and CM Punk. I did not find anything wrong with the ending of this match.
Yeah, I didn't find anything wrong with it either, to be honest. I kind of, like I said, we already knew going into this match that CM Punk was going to win anyway. The matter of how he won was like kind of questionable, but either way he won. But like, yeah, like as soon as I saw freaking MJF climb on top of the ropes and told Wardlow, "Hey, nope, we're not pinning him," slam him over in the table, and I'm like, Wardlow is about to freaking lose now. like Wardlow is most definitely about to freaking lose now. And that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for Wardlow to like just smack the mess out of MJF. So that's all I'm waiting on.
And the ending, guys, was exactly the way 1995 Survivor Series, the main event, Bret Hart, Diesel, WWF Championship in a no disqualification match. It was the exact same finish. I looked it up. They paid tribute to that finish of the match. It was the exact way. You guys can legitimately go look it up yourselves. There's actually a GIF of it on Twitter. Diesel was about to pick him up for a jackknife powerbomb, whatever you really want to call it. Gonna pick him up for a powerbomb. Bret Hart does an inside cradle, 1, 2, 3. Win. It was the exact same kind of finish. And yeah, they paid tribute to that kind of a finish tonight on Dynamite. It just shows that they actually know how to build some kind of story, how to do callbacks in a way. And yeah, now, heck, at the end of the day, we'll have Punk versus Shawn Spears next week. Obviously, MJF is going to be there too. We'll see what happens. I don't think he has anybody else in his stable. Unless I'm just completely blanking.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
think he really has anybody else.
Yeah, it's him, Wardlow, Shawn Spears, and FTR.
Oh, yeah, and they're obviously not going to... I highly doubt they're going to do 2 singles matches between Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler.
Yeah.
So, maybe 2 weeks' time. Maybe there's going to be another special AEW Dynamite episode down the line, and we get it then. Because, I mean, we got the first week of March is Revolution. I don't love to have CM Punk and MJF at Revolution, but I don't know how they can carry it on that much longer.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I'd love it if we got it at Revolution, but I don't know. Like, I mean, MJF could definitely find ways to do it. I mean, he's obviously going to try to just weasel himself out in any way that he can. but we'll see what happens. I fully trust in Tony Khan that we'll actually get the right way in order to get there, but I just want MJF to mention April one time. I want him to mention CM Punk's wife. I want him to do it. I need him to do it. MJF, if you're watching this, you need to mention April. I don't know how you do it, but you need to make CM Punk angry, and that is exactly how you do it. If mentioning Larry didn't do, I mean, it got him mad, but if mentioning Larry didn't get him as furious as you really want him to be, you mention his wife, you're set. You're set, and you're going to want that. You're going to want him angry. So, just mention her, please. And I know a ton of people would not like that. I know a ton of people that would not like that, but you got to do it. I see you shaking your head. You wouldn't want it.
I'm about to say. I'm about to say, like, I don't know. I'm about to say MJF has amazing ways of going overboard with stuff and making people pissed off. That will most definitely do it.
So, when he mentioned the not main eventing WrestleMania, I was like, there you go. Thank you. See, you needed to say that. You need to say some other kind of stuff like that. Now the next step, just bring in the wife. Bring in the wife. Do it. Wait, where the no, I need them to go to Chicago. I need them to go to Chicago. I need April to be sitting in the front row, and I need something. I just need it. Like, please, you gotta do something with April. Fly her out. Fly her out to the next city, please. I don't care how you do it. You gotta mention her. You just gotta do it. I don't know how you do it, but you gotta do it. There's just something to be said about mentioning that. You're going to be golden if you do it. There's so much that you can do with it. I may be the only one that actually wants it, but you know what? If it ever does happen, my God, it'd be so good. Up next, we had the match between Powerhouse Hobbs and Dante Martin. This match was pretty good. Not going to lie, I love Powerhouse Hobbs. Obviously love Dante. We had the match continuing as Martin then hits a springboard spinning splash to the outside. Looked absolutely beautiful. Martin with a running boot, and Hobbs hits a crossbody. Looks absolutely brutal. I do not want that man flying towards me with a body. Ricky Starks then goes to attack Martin, but Jay Lethal, of all people, run down to stop him. And then Martin hits a nosedive on Hobbs for the 1-2-3. The fact that Jay Lethal was the one to stop Ricky Starks really got me confused. I don't know if it was just me, but Jay Lethal? Really out of place here.
Yeah, obviously we thought it was going to be Leo Rush, but I guess with all of the drama going on between him and AEW, I guess it wasn't meant to do that.
What happened with him now?
I guess with the stuff with him and Tony.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. That.
Because Leo Rush.
Yeah, I know. I know the situation.
Yeah, so I guess they're like, hey, well, who else could we put in this situation? Let's throw Jay up in there. Jay's not doing anything, so That's pretty much it. But bro, that freaking spine buster in the beginning of the match, my God, bro.
I'm telling you right now, Powerhouse Hobbs is somebody everybody is gonna have to look out for.
Yeah. I know I joke on him a lot, calling him the generic Big E, but yeah, that man, Powerhouse Hobbs is a force to be reckoned with.
And you know what? You saying like the generic Big E is not really all that bad of a comparison. It really wasn't at the first sight of him, because really when we first saw him, I didn't really get the appeal of him either. I really didn't, because they weren't really either doing anything with him until they really put him with Taz and like put him in the team Taz kind of stable. Then once he actually got in there, and then when Taz was actually starting to use him and use him properly and get him into the right kind of roles where he can excel at, he's been thriving ever since being with Taz.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Now, can he speak on the mic? We don't know, because they really don't give him a chance to. But you know what? That to me just tells me that, all right, they're at least trying to maybe work with him behind the scenes. Just keep him with Taz. Keep that mic piece on him, and you're good to go. Just let him go in there and just kick ass.
Right.
So, Dante Martin was the one to win here. I texted Olaf as soon as that happened. He's like, that was absolutely beautiful. So he obviously loved Dante getting the win there, and so did I. I think Dante is so goddamn talented. It just sucks that Darius is gone, man. But the thing is, once Darius is gone, I don't want Dante to go right back to Darius, because it's just gonna hold. His brother wouldn't hold him back, but man, there's so much on Dante that we really need to see more of.
Yeah, I like Dante a lot. I don't know. I about to say, not to be rude, but like I don't know. I guess to him, it's like Darius being injured was like the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah. And
yeah, that it's unfortunate, but like
yeah,
he's going ham right now, and yeah,
like whenever it comes to tag teams, and we've said this ad nauseum, but like there's always that one person that is going to be the breakout star of that team. Dante is that guy. And it's no disrespect to Darius whatsoever either. I think Darius is also an amazing talent. What I think that Darius was probably going to get this role if the roles were reversed and Dante was the one injured and Darius was getting all this. I don't know if I'd be so sure to say that. I don't know if Darius would be in the spot with him teaming with Leo Rush, or now obviously Jay Lethal, and going up against Team Taz. I really don't know if that would have been the case. So I think Tony Khan knows what he has here. And I think Tony Khan knows that Dante might be that breakout star of that tag team. And we're just going to have to wait and see where Darius comes back, what happens. Because obviously when he does come back, something's happening. I don't know if we're going to see a brother versus brother kind of feud here or what. Like he wants to get back into a tag team, but Dante's like, yeah, dude, I love that you're back, but I'm on such a roll right now. I'm gonna have a TNT championship shot soon, or at least I could feel it. I need to step away, like I need to. And then all of a sudden, one of them turns heel, and then we have a brother versus brother feud. I don't know, but right now, actually, the way I just kind of taught that out to all of you guys here, that might actually be something that can happen.
I was about to say that. I was like, that actually sounds pretty accurate.
That might actually be something that they could happen. Tony, if you're watching this, you can have it, but please let me be a part of your writing team, please.
I was gonna say you gotta pay the man. Yeah, you gotta pay the man.
Listen, man. Listen, they call me PK already over here, so it could work. People already think I'm on the payroll anyway, Tony, so it's okay. Alex Marvez is backstage with Chris Jericho in the Inner Circle. Jericho says that it's an honor to be Faction of the Year. But since day one, they promised to dominate this company and be the biggest band of blood brothers in this business. Eddie Kingston then all of a sudden walks into frame and says that he needs to mind his own business. He wants Garcia, and then he looked to Santana and Ortiz and said, hey, you know why you're not AEW World Tag Team Champions right now? Because you're hanging around with schmucks with the schmucks like Chris Jericho over here. Jericho says that they are family, and Ortiz just tells both of them they need to get their shit together. Jericho says that he will be in Sammy's corner tonight, and that's all fine and dandy. But listen, Kingston, if you're gonna get involved as well, he's gonna kick. I'm just gonna kick your ass. And then, Kingston says, "Yeah, I'd like to see you try." And then Jericho said, "What the fuck were the three letters that he said?" GFY, I think he said, yeah, GFY. And he motioned to Marvez. He's like, GFY. He's like, what was that? He's like, what does that mean? I looked it up.
Yeah,
he said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, I was about to say it took me. I was like GFY, and then I was like, okay, yeah.
I looked it up. Thank you to the internet. They said that. So, and obviously, listen, AEW may be TV 14, but you can't say that on CBS. You just got here. This is the second episode of your television show on that new network. Good job on Jericho to just say the three letters.
Huh?
What's that?
I was say good job on him also for using abbreviation. That's
yeah. Just use the three letters. You're good. We understood once we figured it out, we understood what you were meaning, and it was all good to go. GFY, like what was that? But MJF then comes out of the entrance tunnel shouting "No!" This is the part where MJF says that CM Punk will be facing Shawn Spears, but MJF says that he knows Punk is in a world of pain. Asshole chants are running through the arena, as always, when it comes to MJF. MJF says that Punk got powerbombed to oblivion, but Punk isn't going to be winning next week. Next week, we will get the match that we've all been waiting for. Next week, it's CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. So JR is like, hey, wait a minute. That's not the match we want to see. I think everybody wants to see MJF in the ring. I'm like, listen, JR, this is just like MJF do it, so you should totally see this coming. And Excalibur, well, not Excalibur, Tony Schiavone is like, man, this guy is such a prick. I'm like, dude, you need to what? Okay. I understand that when you're behind the commentary table, you're supposed to just make everybody look like a fucking star, whether you actually like him or whether you actually hate him or whether it's just for storyline purposes. Do you think there actually could be some heat between MJF and Tony Schiavone? Or do you think this is just purely platonic and just behind the table?
Who knows? I was about to say MJF has a way of like getting under everybody's skin, so who knows? I wouldn't even be surprised if it's like real beef there.
It is something to think about. We've seen so much between Shabani and MJF in the past that it honestly could have been something. But if it is just totally platonic and it's just behind the table and you're just literally doing this just to get this guy over even more as one of the biggest heel in not only just this company but in professional wrestling, man, you do a good job. Man, you do a good job, and I applaud you, Tony. So Cole, the Bucks, Fish, OReilly are backstage, and they say that they have whipped the best friends' asses over and over again. Britt Baker then walks in the frame, so I'm like, yes, thank you so much. This is not just a one-off. She says that they are going to be challenging Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander to a mixed tag team match next week on Dynamite. Great. I love it. We're going to see. Oh my gosh, wait a second. I need the spot to happen, and I hope that Tony, please continue rolling.
Feel kind of in the building.
Britt Baker. Double Panama Sunrises.
I was thinking that.
Please. They call it the Panama Sunrise still, right?
Yeah, they still call it the Panama Sunrise.
I think Britt probably has it differently for her kind of moveset, but heck, just do the double, and you're good to go. Yeah, like you can make that their like mixed tag team finisher or something. I don't know, but it works. But with them already getting back into the Chris Statlander, and do you think we might be getting another Chris Statlander Britt Baker feud with all of this? Because they're already mixing them together again. So, you think it might happen at Revolution?
I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just happy that they actually found something else for Britt to do for the time being, since she just defended her title. So I was happy about that. I wasn't really thinking about the Chris Statlander feud, actually. Going into Revolution, I don't know if it'll hold that long. That's the thing.
I just think it's better just to you got it. Like for me, the best feud for Revolution is not Chris Statlander. The best feud is definitely Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa.
I can agree with that.
And the thing is, Britt Baker already came out in multiple interviews that the next step for the AEW Women's Division is to headline a pay-per-view. We already saw what's going to be happening later on, and we're going to be talking about this next because that's what happened on this show. Hangman Adam Page just got his new challenger. And I love Lance Archer to death, and I've actually talked to the man on Twitter, and he and I are actually pretty damn cool with each other. He's liked my tweets, he's retweeted my tweets. He's legitimately been pretty cool with me. I love the thought of Hangman Adam Page and Lance Archer together, but to me that doesn't really scream main event. You give me a Britt Baker Thunder Rosa main eventing Revolution for the next step of the headlining of pay-per-views for the AEW Women's Division, you're set to go. She already wants a main event for a pay-per-view that to be the next step for the AEW Women's Division. I think Revolution could be that perfect spot for it, especially with the right type of competitor in Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Lance Archer. Actually, I thought I don't know if it was just me. I'm pretty sure everybody else thought it was probably going to be Scorpio Sky once we saw Dan
Dan
Lambert.
Lambert, yeah. We'll talk about the whole segment once we get there, but yeah, it was very odd seeing Lance Archer back because there were reports going around that Lance Archer was not really in the best terms with the company. People thought that he was actually legitimately going to leave AEW to go to actually WWE because he thought that he was not really getting used properly. Then all of a sudden his wife got involved and that turned into a whole big mess and everything in between. But now Lance is back and he went right after the world champion. But while we're actually there, we might as well actually talk about the segment in whole. And Hangman Adam Page makes his entrance to a great ovation. Everybody loves Hangman as champion. I love it. It's a great thing to see. That championship belt just looks absolutely beautiful. It looks beautiful on anybody, but man, it looks good on the shoulder of Hangman Adam Page. So Page says that he has spilled blood all over the ring. He has poured sweat for the AEW World Championship, and he has spent 90 minutes in this ring for all of us, and he thinks 90 minutes isn't enough. It's a new year, and the Hangman needs a new challenger. Dan Lambert then makes his entrance, and I'm like, holy shit, let's go. What's it gonna be? Let's see this happen. Paige says, please shoot me. Please. I was like, dude, don't say that. He's like, please, for the love of God, shoot me. But Lambert goes on the same old stuff that he does. He goes through some old school champions, and Paige says, look, if Scorpio or Paige wants a title shot, they can just come to him themselves. Lambert then goes on and says, listen here, I was actually about to compliment you, Paige, so shut up a minute. The matches between yourself and Danielson were some of the best matches I have ever seen. Lambert says that he has earned everything that he has gotten, except the gimmick he has. He isn't a real cowboy. Keep the title, the money, and the addiction, and the adulation, but stop disrespecting old school tough guys. That is cowboy shit. Lambert then goes on and goes to leave, but Lance Archer runs down and goes after Lambert. Lambert hides behind Paige, and Archer hits. Lambert says, listen, you're in the ring with the AEW World Champion. Don't squander this opportunity. Then Lance Archer then just all of a sudden attacks Paige with a big lariat, and Lambert then escapes. Archer then attacks Paige with a steel chair, and Archer hits Paige with a blackout through the steel chair. Looked beautiful.
Man, that thing, I was like, that looks nasty.
Yeah. It looked so good, though, too. Like, it really did. Tony Schiavone and the rest of the AEW commentary team were so flabbergasted at all of this. They're like, the Murder Hawk Monster is back, and he wants that AEW World Championship. I like it, personally. But the thing is, we're going to have to figure out some way in order to tell this kind of story. Because we have not seen Lance Archer in months.
Right.
Lance Archer is nowhere near the top 5 in the AEW World Championship rankings, as far as I'm aware. I might actually want to look this up just so that we can actually get to the bottom of the top 5. Because as of right now, I highly doubt Lance Archer is even a part of it. Let me actually go there right now.
I was say I'm pretty sure Bryan Danielson is probably still number 1. So,
well, consider the rankings. I mean, with it being a new year and everything kind of reset. So let's see. The men's rankings right now. The 2 champions, obviously Hangman Adam Page and Cody Rhodes. And here are the top 5 in the order, guys, and this is legitimately off the AEW website. Number 1, at a 0-0 record, but overall of 11-4, Adam Cole.
Where?
Number 2, at a record of 1-0 in 2022, singles wise, but overall of 40-6, Wardlow. Number 3, at a 2022 singles record of 0-1, but an overall record of 13-2-2, Bryan Danielson. Number 4, at a 1-0 record in 2022, but a 52-16 overall record, Scorpio Sky. And then at a 1-0 2022 singles record, but a 35-16 overall, Powerhouse Will Hobbs at number 5. So just like we all suspected, Lance Archer is not in the top 5. So we're going to have to figure out what kind of story we need to figure out for Lance Archer to even be in the conversation for an AEW World Championship opportunity. I think they can do it. I don't have any ill will towards Tony Khan in order to make this happen. I think he can. It's just going to take some time to figure out what kind of story we can go along with here because we haven't seen it in a couple of months.
Right. Yeah, like I thought it was going to be Scorpio Sky when Dan Lambert came out. Then it was like plot twist. Lance Archer pops up. I'm like, we haven't seen this dude in a minute. He returns with a beard and everything, and I'm like, man, okay.
The man looks great.
Yeah, he still looks good.
Like, he looks good.
Yeah, I was like Adam Cole.
Adam Cole is technically the number 1 guy.
Man, yeah, they need to work with some type of team. AEW need to work with the team to update that. Man,
well, these are the rankings as of the 7th, so this is technically last week's rankings.
Oh wow, so it's brand new.
So yeah, we'll obviously get they update the rankings every Friday, so tomorrow we'll get the rankings for that. And I say tomorrow because it is 12:03. It is Thursday right now, so we will get the new rankings tomorrow, and maybe Lance Archer would just shoot up to the top. But we'll see. In other news, though, Riho is number 1 right now in the women. Chris Statlander at number 2, Thunder Rosa at number 3, Tay Conti at number 4. There's your girl, DMs. And Ruby Soho at number 5. And then Jade Cargill and obviously Britt Baker are the champions. And then we got Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus as the champions for the tag team. The Acclaimed at the number 1 spot. The Young Bucks at number 2. Ortiz and Santana at number 3. Harwood and Wheeler at number 4. And then actually, John Silver and Alex Reynolds at number 5.
I was about to say, but they're getting a championship match on Friday.
Yep. Well, really, when it comes to Rampage and championship matches, pretty much anybody in the top 5 can go for matches on Rampage when it comes to championships. So that's why number 5 is just randomly getting a title shot on Rampage. But yeah, it's pretty much anybody in the top 5 can go for anything when it comes to Rampage or a Dynamite episode or something of that nature. But usually when it comes to pay-per-views, it's obviously the number 1 guy going after champions and all that. So, but that's what I like. That's what I like about this company. That's what I like about this ranking system is that, yeah, we can have our fun on Rampage and Dynamite for the rankings and everything, just have cool championship matches here and there. But then once it actually gets to the pay-per-views, number 1 contender, champion, the rightful stuff goes on the pay-per-views. So, Tony Schiavone is with Arn Anderson, Lee Johnson, and Brock Anderson backstage. And Arn says that Brock and Lee Johnson will be a hell of a tag team together. Arn says that he wants them to experience Horseman Country. Tully Blanchard then comes in and says that, listen, if they want to experience Horseman Country, they need to get rid of the dead weight in Arn Anderson. Dax challenges the tag team of Brock and Lee to a match next week. Arn and Tully shake hands. Horseman Country, 4 horsemen. I mean, come on now. It made sense. It made all the sense in the world to do it. And we'll get FTR versus Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson next week. Cool. Why not?
Yeah.
I like Brock Anderson. I like Lee Johnson. I obviously love FTR. We'll see what happens. Kind of random? Yeah. It's going to be
Yeah.
We had a video package for Jade Cargill and her TBS championship win. Good for her. Still don't think she's the right winner, but it's all right at the end of the day. Shida makes her entrance, and we have the match between Shida and Deeb. This is the 4th match of their rivalry. It was very short, but the thing is, I think it really should have been this short, mainly because it is the 4th time in their rivalry they're doing this. And I think after this, we don't need any more. Nothing against Serena Deeb and nothing against Hikaru Shida. I absolutely love the work that Serena Deeb is doing right now. I think this is honestly the best work of her entire career with this heel run. Seriously. But at the end of the day, Deeb has gotten the best of Shida pretty much almost every turn. You have nothing left to prove against her. So just end it here and go after that TBS championship, please. You're ready for that already. So go for it.
Right.
If it was up to me, I've been telling you this straight from the jump. I would have had Ruby Soho win the championship. And then whoever was the winner of the feud between Shida and Serena Deeb, first challenger. TBS championship right there. And obviously Serena Deeb won this feud. Serena Deeb versus Ruby Soho, you telling me you wouldn't want to see that? That would be great.
Yeah, that would be
that championship. Perfect. But nah, we already have a heel and the champion anyway, so you can't do heel versus heel. I mean, you could, but it would be a very weird dynamic. I'm telling you guys right now, Soho should have been the one to do this. But nah, it's all right. But what were your thoughts on Serena Deeb in this match with Shida? I mean, it was very short, so we really couldn't totally get into things. But man, Serena Deeb is such on a great roll right now.
Yeah, so Serena Deeb is on fire right now. I actually forgot that they were having this match tonight. When I saw it, I was like, "Yo, we're getting this again." I'm like, "Man, this reminds me of the freaking New Day and the Usos on WWE." I'm like, "Man,"
It is
I'm
the fourth
like,
time they did this, so yeah.
"Man," I'm like, "Bro, this is man." But yeah, I'm kind of glad that it was short. I about to say, I don't know if it was like a botched ending or not, with the referee just stopping the match and she didn't tap out. I don't know. Like,
Well, JR said on commentary that I think that he thought it was the right call because at the end of the day, it is about the wrestler's health first. So I don't really think it was a botch kind of ending. I think
okay,
he legitimately just stopped it because at the end of the day, I really do think something is wrong with Shida's leg. They've been playing this so well. I mean, obviously they're great sellers, so I don't think it would be out of the realm of possibility that this is just a storyline of leg injury. But
yeah,
I think after all of this, I think Shida will have some time off, and I think she will try to do something with that leg. I think there might be something wrong, so I think that's why they stopped it here tonight.
okay,
In my opinion, I think that could be the case, but she could just be a really good seller too at the end of the day. um, but yeah, Deeb looked pissed after everything, and she just grabbed a kendo stick. She swings the kendo stick at the referee. She swung it at the doctor, and then she just swung it on Shida's leg. This right here, the kendo stick shots to the leg, also made me think, all right, yeah, this is not only going to be the end of this, but they're writing her off for something.
yeah,
So that right there showed me, I'm like, this might not actually just be storyline. We might actually be getting her written off, and I think that was probably the reason why they did it. Tony Schiavone is with Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express. Cage says, listen, these guys may be the tag team champions right now, but it sucks that Ray Phoenix got injured during that match. Get well soon. We'll see you down the road. And then Jungle Boy said, listen, we worked very hard to get these championships, but we're also going to work as hard to keep them. So any challenger out of the top 5, come at us and we will accept your challenge. Silver and Reynolds walk in and say, hey, we're a part of the top 5. We're actually a good part of the top 5. So they said, hey, listen, Rampage, this Friday, you and us, tag titles. What do you say? And they accept. Jurassic Express versus the Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds for the tag titles. What will that be?
I'm down with it. Like I said, like it was weird because like when you named off the rankings, I'm like, wait, huh? But now it's like, I'm about to say I'm fine with it. So I'm about to say it gives us something new. So yeah, I'm down with it.
I think we're going to see a lot of new style type of tag team matches with Jurassic Express as tag champs. Mainly because of the way that they wrestle. The Lucha Bros are one thing. They were great as tag team champions for the time being, and obviously this was inaudible because of everything that happened with Ray Phoenix. But we are going to get a different type of like different type of tag matches with these guys as champions. So
yeah, I can see that. Like different styles of wrestling and different teams. So yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm down with
we
it.
got a stacked ass division here, man. We gotta use a lot of these guys. We can't just have them sitting in the back for long. So I think we're gonna have a lot of experimentation with these guys as champions.
Yes, sir.
Matt Hardy versus Pentagon Jr. in the big money match. This was very last minute. Mainly because this match was not really announced until like maybe an hour before the show started. By Tony, actually. And honestly, for a last minute match, this was not bad. Pentagon said on Twitter that he was going to be challenging anybody out of the AEW roster because he's now alone and he just wants to challenge. Matt Hardy then all of a sudden steps up to the plate and accepts it, and he puts some money on the line. And it was made into a big money match between Matt Hardy and Pentagon El Zero Miedo. I'm like, okay. Matt Hardy versus Pentagon in a big money match. Cool. I didn't really get this, but once we figured out what this was all going to entail afterwards, I was okay with this. I was okay with this. So Pentagon blocks the twist of fate. I say Pentagon, it's Penta, it's the same thing. He's Pentagon Jr., it's just the same different name. So Penta blocks the twist of fate and hits an enziguri. Hardy then knocks Penta off the turnbuckles and misses a moonsault. Penta then hits a kick to the midsection and hits the Fear Factor cover for the 1-2-3. So Penta wins the money. It's all great and dandy until you get kicked in the face by Malachi Black. Alex Abrahantes says, Malachi, Penta has a message for you. Penta then starts shouting in Spanish. Don't understand the words that he's saying, but thank God Alex is here and he translates, saying that, listen, Penta says that he will show you some respect. The lights cut out. Then they come back on, and Black just is in the ring, and he takes out Alex with a kick to the face, and Alex sold it like a motherfucker. This man sold it so well, and I'm like, Alex, you are a fucking gem. Good job on you. Penta then tries to hit a super kick on Malachi Black, but to no avail as Black hits a Black Mass. Or the Sin Eater is what they call it in AEW, but I still call it Black Mass.
Yeah, me too.
Black then tears at Penta's mask, and the Varsity Blondes run down to attack Malachi. They all have a 3-on-1 attack on Malachi. Julia stops it all. Like, legitimately yelling to stop. But Black is laughing at all of them. He says, 1, 2, 3. The lights went out. Lights come back on. And Brody King appears.
Yeah.
He takes out everybody. He takes out Pentagon, he takes out Griff Garrison, and he takes out Brian Pillman Jr. Black then throws Pillman in the air, and King catches him into a massive power slam. Look, it looked pretty cool. Like, I mean, it was just like a normal lift into a power slam, but heck, it looked pretty cool to me. So the commentary team said, and I believe this was Shivani that said it, or it was Excalibur, one of the two. The Kings of the Black Throne have arrived. Don't know if that's going to be their tag name, but I'd just rather call them the House of Black. And I think that's probably just going to be the better name for them. I like the Kings of the Black Throne, but just call them the House of Black. Yeah, I think that would be a better way.
The HOB. Hob. Oh man, but nah, yeah, but Brody King, man, debuting, that was fantastic. It fits him perfectly now with him and Aleister Black. Both of them look exactly the same with like all the tattoos all over their body and stuff, and they both seem like they would be a good fit for each other. Somebody in my live, because I went live, somebody in my live mentioned Bray Wyatt should be another addition to the House of Black, and I'm not sure about that.
I wouldn't want it.
Yeah, because I'm like, how would you do that? But
it's not really how would you do it. It's just Wyndham is too goddamn talented to be in a trio.
Right.
He would have to be solo for me.
Yeah.
And if you want to bring guys in to maybe do something with it, first of all, you have the Dark Order right there. You could either have him lead the Dark Order, or you can make something out of it. But, and I was talking with Lewis a few months ago, man. Not even a few months ago. Maybe this was like maybe a month and a half ago. If they even wanted to try to do something with Bryan Danielson again, because we already knew that kind of a storyline before anyway.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, but at the end of the day, I think him just being solo would be okay.
Yeah.
Shivani was with Red Velvet, Layla Hirsch, and Chris Statlander. Hirsch called Statlander selfish, and she said that she should be focusing on the match at Rampage instead of her getting involved with Britt Baker and the rest of the so-called elite. But it's either the Paragon, elite, yeah. So Statlander says that she can handle it, and she needs to back off. Velvet says, listen, I love you guys, but if we stand a chance of winning on Friday, you guys need to work together. He said, yeah, fine. We can work together. Shivani's like, all right, well, apparently they're going to work together. Back to you guys. Which I was like, okay. Thank you, Tony. Love you too, buddy. Then Chris Statlander was just staring at him very closely in the face. Like, she got really close to him, just staring at him. I'm like, all right, alien. Are you going to do the boop to the nose or what? I was waiting for the boop. I was waiting for the boop on the nose before we got off the air there. And then we had bars.
Yes, sir.
The Acclaimed have arrived.
Yes, sir.
to face Bear Country, and I was like, yes, Bear Country's on Dynamite, and they lost. Why?
I actually
I
thought
love the
that.
Acclaimed, and the Acclaimed definitely should have won this match. But man, Bear Country, you
Yeah, I actually thought Bear Country was gonna win. I was like, yeah, the Acclaimed is number one, but I said I have a feeling that Bear Country is gonna win.
Bear Country is so goddamn talented, and they need to know what they have there. But man, it's all right. They'll have their time. They will. I think Bear Country showed tonight on Dynamite that they will have their time in AEW. But yeah, so Bronson misses a splash in the corner. Bowens drops him on the top rope, and Caster then hits a mic drop elbow off the top for the 1-2-3. A la Macho Man Randy Savage, the Acclaimed have arrived and are the number one tag team in all of AEW. Technically speaking, it's only been a week. Technically 2. But yeah. But honestly, I love the Acclaimed. I think that's very apparent here. And it's obviously very apparent that Nate, you love them too.
Yes, sir.
They're so good as a tag team. And at the end of the day, that number one ranking is really not that much of a joke. These guys are for real. And like I said, we're going to get some new type of tag team matches with the with the Lucha Bros not being the tag team champions and it being Jurassic Express. The thing is, the Lucha Brothers are still supposed to be tag team champions, which is the reason why I still keep thinking it. But Jurassic Express versus the Acclaimed, I'm okay with it. Like I think with the new type of regime of tag teams that we're going to be looking at now that Penta's pretty much on his own, I think this tag team division is gonna get a lot deeper with them as champions. I think it's gonna be really cool to see.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Acclaim to get some matches and get their title matches. Like I said, them and Jurassic Express, I'm down for that. I can't wait for that. Like I said,
Do you think we get a Revolution?
Or
do you think they're just gonna put it on a Dynamite and then we'll see a bigger match down the line for Revolution?
I don't know. I believe they might just throw it on like a random episode of Dynamite or something like that, like a special episode or something.
We'll probably have a special episode, right?
Yeah. As far as Revolution, I don't like it. It's so much stuff that can happen. And the thing is that we don't know if they're gonna wait that long to do it. So
I was so set on the Lucha Bros taking on Santana and Ortiz at Revolution. I was so set on having Santana and Ortiz at Revolution for the titles. But now that the Lucha Bros are not the tag team champions anymore, I don't even know if Santana and Ortiz are even in the plans now.
I was actually hoping maybe one day in AEW, maybe we can get some triple threat tag teams or just triple threats in general, some fatal 4-ways.
You know what? I've been waiting for a triple threat tag match in
something
AEW.
like that. Yeah, something like that because I get the point with the number one contender thing which is good because WWE completely threw that out the window. But I would be happy to see a triple threat tag team or a triple threat match every once in a while, maybe fatal 4-way, 5-pack, 6-pack match, something like that, down the line.
Yeah, so, I mean, I could be wrong, but I really don't know if there's ever been a triple threat tag team match in AEW. So I might have to look that up. But like, I mean, I really would not mind seeing a triple threat tag team match or something of that nature, especially with Jurassic Express as the tag team champions. Like I said, you can experiment a lot with this tag team division as them as champions. So we'll definitely see what Tony Khan has in store. So during the rap that Max Caster was saying on the way down to the ring, he mentioned the team of Sting and Darby Allin. The lights went out, and I'm like, oh, great, what does Tony Khan have planned now? Like, and then all of a sudden it was Sting. So I was like, oh, okay. The Acclaimed didn't just say Sting and Darby Allin for no reason. Sting and Darby Allin did attack the Acclaimed afterwards. I'm like, oh, great, who's debuting now? It just turned out to be Sting. I was like, oh, okay. Hi, Sting. What's up, buddy? And Sting then comes out with the baseball bat. The Acclaim back into the ring. They go. But Darby Allin is waiting there in the wings for that. He hits him with a skateboard. Sting smashes Bones' boombox with his bat. And Darby then hits a coffin drop from the corner onto Caster. Then Sting hits a Scorpion Death Drop onto Caster. And yeah, that's it. So we're probably going to get the Acclaim versus Sting and Darby Allin at some point, maybe next week, or maybe on a Rampage.
They announced it for next week.
Next week, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be cool. We had a video package of the Blinded Pack. He's legitimately just wearing a cloth over both of his eyes. It's fantastic.
Bird Box Pack.
He says his vision has never been more clear. I don't know if that's really the case, considering you have a cloth over your eyes.
Oh, no.
I'm telling you right now, both eyes are going to be blackened, and he's going to be joining the House of Black, maybe. Who knows? It really would not be that far-fetched. Yeah. Commentary runs down the card for the Rampage and next week's Dynamite. And up next, it's the main event. I mean, we had a backstage segment with Andrade and Matt Hardy. That seemed pretty weird, but we'll see what happens. Matt Hardy told Private Party to stay back, so we could be finally seeing the end of the Hardy family office. Thank God. Please take that away from me and never put it on TV again. That's the one thing I'll say about a bad thing on AEW. The Hardy family office should have never been a thing. Private Party is way too good to have that be a part of them. And so are Butcher and Blade.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Hopefully this ends the Hardy family office, and I don't know what the heck Andrade has anything to do with this, but we'll see. Justin Roberts then introduces the main event. Daniel Garcia makes his entrance. Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston are at ringside as the interim TNT champion Sammy Guevara makes his entrance. First of all, I have to ask, what are your thoughts on this whole interim TNT championship shit? I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like dumb. Like because like I was confused. I'm like, okay, so Cody is out right now, so that means Sammy is the new TNT champion. Yay. And then they were like, no, interim TNT champion. So I'm like, wait a minute. So are they gonna unify the TNT champion.
That's exactly what they're doing.
I don't understand it. I thought
so what the plan is right now, because Cody's coming back next week. It was already confirmed that Cody is coming back next week.
Yeah.
The plan as of right now is to have whoever the interim TNT champion is, that being Sammy Guevara, considering he retained tonight, take on Cody Rhodes again for the unified TNT championship. That could go so many different ways.
I was going to say the only thing that I could think of that could probably save this unification match is if they add a stipulation to it. Like make it like a ladder match.
Please, there you go. Thank you. Ladder match is the perfect way because I do not want to see Sammy Guevara take another pinfall loss.
Yeah.
I would hate Sammy Guevara getting pinned again by Cody. And I like Cody. I do. I like Cody. I like this kind of like heelish dick kind of thing that he's trying to do. I don't know. I like this heelish kind of run, but you can't have him pin Sammy again. You do a ladder match. I think that would be a perfect way to do it. But, that being said, this interim TNT Championship match is not bad at all. Daniel Garcia can go.
Man, my God, bro.
I freaking love this guy. And this match got a pretty damn good amount of time for the show tonight, as well as it should have. It's kind of weird seeing the TNT Championship defended on TBS, but hey, you know, that's just semantics. That's semantics.
I didn't even actually think about that until you just said that.
It's semantics, but you know, at the end of the day, it'll just work and we'll all be fine. But so we had Guevara hit an Enziguri 2.0, then run down to try to jump Kingston and Chris Jericho. But they threw Jericho into the barricade. Guevara with a big knee strike. Garcia with a roll-up for a 2 count. And then Sammy gets back up, hits a GTH, covers for the 1-2-3. First of all, Guevara, that GTH is fucking fantastic. I love it every time. Second off, Daniel Garcia fucking sold it like a Greek god. Like, the man is absolutely great.
That GTH, like, was kind of like, I don't know if it was botched or like.
I think it's just him overselling that shit.
Because like when I saw it, I was like, he kind of missed it, but then it looked like it was botched too because Daniel Garcia looked like he didn't land in the spot correctly or something went wrong with that. But either way,
because Garcia also oversold like a crossroads like maneuver that he was doing too, right? I mean, he did do a crossroads, right?
Yeah,
that was it. So I was like, he also oversold that. He legitimately landed on his head, and I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. With the injury that we saw last week, I did not want any injury to happen here. So he oversold that. I think he oversold the GTH on purpose so that it could legitimately make Sammy that bigger of a star. But Sammy is already that big of a star anyway. You really don't need anything. You really don't need to do anything that special just to make him that important. Telling you right now, though, Sammy Guevara, when he does defend that championship against Cody, and we have this unification match, we can't have a singles match one-on-one where you have to pin. You have to do that ladder match, like you said. And there you go, Tony, again, that's on him. That's his idea, though. So you can give him the royalties on that one.
I'm about to say somebody clip this and send it to Twitter.
Like, but in all seriousness, though, like something like that has to happen. You can't have Cody pin Sammy again because I know people are just going to go ballistic again. So I think that's the best way to do it, and you do it in that type of a fashion. So David Crockett again is here on Dynamite. I like him here. It's not that I don't like him being here. It's just are you gonna just show it? Have him be here every single week when a TNT Championship match is happening? So you can just hand over the championship?
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, I said, bro, who is this guy? First of all, and then I was like, second of all, like, why is he like? I said he show up to every TNT Championship match just to hand over the title. I'm like, is that what he's used for now? Like, man.
So he's here. He handed Guevara the title. 2.0 then attacked Guevara. Jericho then runs in with the baseball bat and takes out 2.0. Kingston and Jericho then argue very closely to each other's faces to end the show. We are getting Kingston and Jericho. If not at some point down the line, we're going to get that at Revolution. If it's not going to be on a random episode of Dynamite or a special episode of Dynamite, it will happen at Revolution.
Yeah.
And honestly, give that to me. I think a Jericho and Kingston match would do well.
Yeah.
If a Punk and Kingston match can do well, so can Jericho.
Yeah. I'll say, yeah, with Kingston coming off the match with Punk too, going against Chris Jericho, that would be great for both because Chris Jericho just came back from his tour with Fozzy. Not many people know why he was written off of TV, but he was on tour, guys. He was making money. But yeah, he just came back from his tour with Fozzy, so it gets him back into ring shape, and then with Eddie Kingston just coming off that match with CM Punk, it'll be great for both of them. So I can't wait for that match at Revolution because we already know what's going to happen at Revolution. So
right. So plus, not just to be totally selfish here, but that would also work with me in my fantasy wrestling at Revolution. So that would also help me out. Mainly because I think if you're doing this match at Revolution between Jericho and Eddie Kingston, I would hope that you would have Eddie Kingston go over. Right? I don't think Jericho would really... I don't know if he would really benefit if he just beat Eddie Kingston at Revolution, depending on how the story goes. Really, I really don't know how this is going to go. I mean, we really don't know how things are going to be written down for the story. But I think Eddie Kingston would have to go over.
yeah, I can see the same too. Yeah, Jericho really don't need the dub. Like I said, it's just something to get Jericho back in the ring shape. So, yeah, I can see Eddie Kingston coming out with the dub, especially with him taking the loss to CM Punk last time. So, yeah, I can see him coming out with the dub.
So that's it, guys. That's it for your AEW Dynamite tonight on Outside the Brand. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you guys did, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to 500 subscribers. We're trying to get to 350 subscribers by WrestleMania. and it looks like we're pretty much almost already there. If I look at our analytics right now on YouTube for the subscriber count, we're at 327. So we're almost there. About 23 more subscribers to go, and we can get to that subscriber milestone by WrestleMania. I think that would be a great accomplishment for WrestleMania season. And then once SummerSlam comes around next year, I would like to be at that 500. But hey, all you guys have to do, well, all we have to do is just keep pumping out content. All you guys have to do is just keep supporting us in any way that you can by hitting that like button. That way we can get on the recommended, and that way more people can come over to us and join the OTB family.
Yes, sir.
But you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, you turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. And that's the best way that you can support us. You guys know that we have all of our TikTok links down in the description below. That way you guys can interact with us in that way. We have all of our social medias and everything linked on our TikToks anyway. So you guys have a plethora of ways to get in contact with us if anything was needed to be contacted for. And today is Wednesday. Well, today is Thursday, so we're not going to be on OTB for Thursday because that's usually our off day. But then on Friday we have AEW Rampage and Friday Night SmackDown. So we'll see you guys there, and then it'll be another fresh week of content for you guys the following week after that. So yeah, that's pretty much the layout of everything that's going to be happening over the next few days. And with that being said, Nate, you have anything else to say before we get the hell out of here?
Not much. Just thank you guys for joining as always. I'm glad that OTB is back, man. I don't know, it feels like months, but it's actually been like a couple weeks.
Yeah, we weren't gone for that long, but it did seem weird just not being here. But yeah, I'm glad we're back too.
Yeah, but I'm glad that we're back. Thank you guys as always. Make sure you tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your uncle, tell everybody in your family to follow us. As Loft would say, drink your waters, read your Bible. Make sure you got your book bag on, or your pants on, your socks on, everything.
Your shirt on,
your shirt on.
Just be dressed, please, while you're watching us.
On. And yeah, man, thank you guys. I'm actually in bed right now. I'm about to head to sleep. So
yeah, we are. We're about to head out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Friday Night SmackDown, we got no idea what the fuck's going on over there and over in WWE. But hey, it's gonna be another. It's gonna be another show, that's for sure. And I can only say it's gonna be another show because, like I said, we legitimately don't know what the fuck's gonna go on. So we'll see what happens, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.